I wrote a script and I sent it to the Blacklist. I think it's like an industry screenwriting service where you can get industry professionals to read your script and give it a proper evaluation. Would they send it to an agent? Do they think it's going to get produced? Do they think it has value? And so on. I wrote a script, I sent it to the Blacklist. I think it got like 5 out of 10. I took their notes to heart, I rewrote it, and it got 6 out of 10. I took their notes to heart, I rewrote it, and it got 6 out of 10 again. And I thought, is this rigged? Because a friend of mine had told me about the Blacklist, that's how I found out about it. And he told me, yeah, but if it gets like a 6 out of 10 the first time you send it in, it's almost impossible for it to get higher than that. Viewer, what do you think? Do you think he was correct? I listened to that for like a year because I thought this is rigged because I made so many improvements. How did it get a 6 out of 10 and then a 6 out of 10 again? But I did more reading about it. And I thought, in my head, I was like, I am great. How dare they? Like, why are they not giving me more than 6 out of 10? Everyone knows I'm better than this, and this is just a rigged system that never lets anyone get over 6 out of 10, because if they don't get bigger than 6 out of 10, they will never be... If it gets like 7 out of 10, it gets shown to like an industry professional or something, maybe. There's a potential for that to happen. I rewrote it again, like the third, fourth time, taking all the notes to heart once more. Then I submitted it for 2 more evaluations. The first one gave it 6 out of 10, the second one gave it 7 out of 10. I broke out of the 6 out of 10 thing by believing that, you know, people who read scripts all the time had something to tell me about my script. But I tell you what's very difficult is that I'm scared that if they give me notes, they're trying to make my work commercial. And that is true of one of the evaluations. The 6 out of 10 evaluation was saying it's not commercial enough and he didn't understand it, and the structure nature of it was episodic, which is a comment I used to get on my short stories way back in the day, that they were episodic. And the truth is they were, because I'd just written a bunch of scenes and I hadn't noticed that they didn't connect. So it would be like, they do this, and they do this, and they do that. There was no sequence to it. And I didn't actually know for a very long time how to build a sequence out of it. And the way to do that, I think, is you take all these and scenes and you find out, are they actually necessary in a sequence building towards something? If they are, put them in order of escalating tension and then find a link between them. They went from here to there. Why? Because one of them saw something in the first location that told them they should go to the second location, you know. Find a link that takes them from one scene to the other. I didn't know how to do this back in the day, but I do now. So to receive the comment that the script was episodic, I knew that it wasn't. But I could see that on first read, it might appear that way. The second reader could see what I was doing, said, this is a great version of what this is, and this is how to improve what you have done. And this is the type of feedback I will listen to. I won't say, contort what you're doing into commercial looking thing, because otherwise people won't be interested in it. I obviously have no interest in doing that, and I'm not even capable of doing it, but I will happily take feedback from people who say, I see what you were trying to do and this is how to improve it even better. It was really humbling after all this time to still be receiving feedback like that. And I love this podcast called I Hate Bill Maher, because I'm trying to learn how to be a good comedian, and they tear apart all of Bill Maher's work in this podcast. And they mock clips of him. And one thing Bill Maher says, that if you've been doing comedy for as long as he has, you don't bomb. I don't think any serious comedian would tell you that that's true. They're always shopping their work in front of people. And I think that comedy gets worse when people feel like they don't need to do that anymore. But I definitely understand the desire not to do that anymore, because you do think, God, I've been doing this for such a long time. How do I still not know how to do this great from the jump, you know? How is it possible that I still need other people to point out what this story needs? And so what I've learned recently, the struggle I'm having and the balance I'm trying to strike in this video, is taking invaluable feedback, rejecting feedback that would try to push what I'm doing in a direction it's not supposed to go in, understanding that I have enough self-worth and experience to stand up for the things that I'm making and believe in, but not being too rigid not to take in feedback, trying to think about things from first principles such that I don't take in feedback ahead of time until I've seen whether or not the thing I'm making is working or not. Putting it that way makes me think a bit more kindly towards myself, because I can see why I was not doing that perfectly. I'm just a human being as well, you know. I told my friend Jeremiah before Christmas, half jokingly, I'm really bored that people aren't just like emailing me telling me that I'm a genius. Why do I need to put so much work into this, like constantly proving that I'm doing a good job? Why is it not paid off already? And every creative is going to feel that way. Because I tell you what, I've worked so hard this month on all different kind of things, and I feel the same as always. I have to work this hard in order to maintain a feeling of neutrality. Unfortunately, isn't that terrible? When I was a kid, I didn't need to do this. When I was 15, I would just play video games all day, and I would feel great. As an adult, I'm persecuted by the need to be productive. It's very tough being me.